Donald Trump is quickly turning into what I am referring to as Orange Bill Cosby, or if you prefer, Bill Cosby 2.0. Numerous women now coming out and saying Donald Trump, the Republican presidential candidate, inappropriately touched them. Some of these allegations involve teens. The situation is getting to be absolutely insane, and Trump's campaign is imploding. Let's start, of course, you might remember over the weekend, the leaked audio of Donald Trump speaking to Billy Bush in 2005 exposed Donald Trump talking very lewdly about what he does to women, including kissing them or touching them, no matter what it is that they want, also referring to grabbing women's genitals. Now we realize that what Trump said during that second presidential debate, these are just words. Well, it's words indicative of actions that Donald Trump has apparently taken multiple times. Donald Trump said, I've not done anything wrong. These are just words. But now the stories of Donald Trump inappropriately touching women have started to pour in. We will start with a New York Times report summarizing some of them. We will start with Jessica Leeds, now 74 years old, reporting that more than 3 decades ago, when she was traveling as a businesswoman for a paper company, she sat next to Trump on an airplane in the first class cabin to New York. They had never met before. Shortly after takeoff, Trump lifted the armrest and started touching her, grabbing her breasts, trying to put his hand up Ms. Lee's skirt. He was like an octopus, is the way that she described the incident. She went to the back of the plane and sees this as an assault. She mentioned this to a friend who confirmed the story to the New York Times and said, this is exactly as she told me about this decades ago. Rachel Crooks was at one point a 22-year-old receptionist at Bayrock Group, it's a real estate investment firm in Trump Tower, encountered Donald Trump in an elevator in 2005. She knew that Trump did business with her company. She turned to introduce herself to Trump. They shook hands, and then Trump wouldn't let go, instead starting to forcefully kiss her, and then directly kissing her on the mouth, moving from the cheeks to the mouth. She said this was no accident. It was a violation. She called her sister at the time, who also spoke to the New York Times and confirmed the story. Now, here's my favorite part. The really insane, revealing part of the New York Times story yesterday about these sexual assault claims against the Republican nominee, Donald Trump, is how Trump reacted to the New York Times asking him about it. Here's a transcript of this piece of the conversation from the New York Times article, which says, in a phone interview on Tuesday night, a highly agitated Mr. Trump denied every one of the women's claims. None of this ever took place, said Mr. Trump, who began shouting at the Times reporter who was questioning him. He said that the Times was making up the allegations to hurt him and that he would sue the news organization if it reported them. You are a disgusting human being, he told the reporter as she questioned him about the women's claims. This is how he reacts. Trump can't even handle questions from a newspaper about alleged sexual assaults. How would he be able to handle anything about being president of the United States? But it's not just these two women. In People magazine, Natasha Stoynoff said that she and Trump walked into a room alone. Trump shut the door behind them. She turned around, and within seconds, Trump was pushing her against the wall and forcing his tongue down her throat. And then, of course, we have the story of Mindy McGillivray, or maybe it's pronounced McGillivray, in the Palm Beach Post, who said that back in 2003, Trump grabbed her rear. The Trump campaign has not yet responded to the story. But it's not just these 4 women either. There are 4 women who competed in the 1997 Miss Teen USA beauty pageant who said Donald Trump just came into the dressing room while we were changing. There were 15-year-old girls in there naked, and Trump just walks in, women given no time at all to cover up, nothing announced ahead of time. Numerous women, including Miss Vermont Teen USA, Mariah Bilodeau, saying, I turn around and there's a man in there, and I'm not wearing any clothes. This is what Trump has bragged about doing, Pat. I mean, there is just no mystery here. Trump has bragged about this, and now the stories are pouring in. There's no inconsistency.
And of course, it's an issue of great public interest.
Yeah.
All of these women are coming forward with about a month left in the election, And really, there's no reason to give Trump the benefit of the doubt, given the comments that he said.
No. If anything, Trump's comments tell us, oh, yeah, this is just people corroborating what Trump said that he does. And remember, his campaign manager, Kellyanne Conway, said all women deserve to be heard in regards to sexual misconduct allegations. Well, we're hearing them now, and I hope Kellyanne Conway supports that. And remember, Donald Trump once said, nobody has more respect for women than I do. Fortunately, that's not true. Hillary Clinton should leave this alone. Trump is imploding on his own. Hillary Clinton does not need to get involved in this. Just keep showing up, keep answering the questions, including at the last, third and final presidential debate next week. Trump is imploding, down by double digits in multiple national polls at this time.